Welcome to Java Collections. For today, we'll be talking about enumerations. Enumeration is basically the first form of iteration method that we have. So with enumeration, what we can do is any class which implements enumeration interface will give access to a series of elements one by one, which goes as per the definition of enumerations. With enumeration, the important thing is that it will work only with legacy classes. As I said, enumeration came in the initial version of collections when we are starting with vectors, stack, or some other primitive collection types. With enumeration, names are more explicit, more verbose. Say, for now, when we talk about when do my collection has a next element or not, we talk about has next. But with enumeration, it was has more elements, which is very explicit, very specific. Next, if I have to call the next element with the latest and advanced version of collections, we call about the next element. Here with enumeration, we make it more specific by mentioning it as next element. It is just a legacy class, an older version of class. So we'll just have a quick look how it is look like and how we can write a quick program in it. Okay, so here we talk about enumeration versus an iterator. Iterator and enumerations are actually almost the same thing. The only benefit which iterator gives me that methods are more specific, more shorter versions, and iterator gives me a method to remove an element while iterating through the collection. Enumeration has two methods, has more elements, next elements. Iterator has three methods, has next, next, and the capability to remove an element from the underlying collections. Going further, let's start writing some code. You can choose any ID of your choice, as I prefer IntelliJ. We can start writing a class, my enumeration demo. We'll start with it. We'll start with a quick main method. And since we are talking about enumerations, we have to go with the earlier classes, not the latest one. These are the collection classes. Like currently, I'm talking about vector, which is the initial version of collections with which we have started it. So with vector, we can take something from string, make it a my vector, and make a new implementation of vector here. With vector, let's say we put some element into it. We make Java here. Hello. See, so this is my collection of vector which is specific to string, like which is generic to string. Now, to have an enumeration as an iterator, what we start with is my vector and dot. Here we look for a quick method elements. Elements will return me the group of elements of my collections which I can access one by one. So if we see the elements, this will be of enumeration type which is specific to string. For this, we have to make a placeholder. We'll typecast it or keep it generic. Let's say my enum here. With my enum instance over here, which is of enumeration type, I can access every element of my enumeration or my vector class or the primitive and the older version of my collections one by one. To iterate it, what I need to do, it is more explicit. We make my enum dot does it has more elements, which is more specific. Until and unless I have more elements in my enumeration or in my vector, it will keep iterating, it will keep rotating. What I do over here is I'll change this, and my elements are elements of the vector collections are, we make it something over here, my enum dot next element. Just to check it, we can right click and run this program. And here we'll see the elements of vector collections are here, all the elements which has it one by one. See, it's the first version of collections. We are just understanding it so that we can cover all the topics for it. It could be a good interview questions. We can compare enumerations, keeping enumeration as a reference point with any newer collections. With enumeration, if you see, we will not get any function to delete anything, like to remove anything. So the only important methods is has more elements or the next elements. That's pretty much all we have for enumerations. We'll take up a new next topic in the next video. Thank you for watching.